Hey, what's up? Alfred, is that you? What's going on? Missed having you here. Earlier on the stream, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I'm happy to see you here. Going over some good stuff right now. Feel free to type in the chat anytime. Um, Canucks have making us wait for a while. Making us wait. Let me show you. So we're at what? 116? 121. We're at draft 121. And the Canucks don't pick until 143. So we're still another 22 picks away before it's our pick. I figured to get ready. But yes, 22 picks away. These are the next best guys available. There's still Owen Conrad here from the second round, Burke Hood, a couple others in the third round. We'll see who they get, but you can type in the chat who you want, and then we can always look up those players. Okay, so I'll leave it onto here. There was a undersized winger earlier that I wanted, and that player is off the board, unfortunately. So, but we still got a lot to go. So, when we took a bit of a break, I was able to hold on one sec. Oh, Toronto and Vegas discussing a sign and trade with Mitch Marner. This is what I'm hearing right now on the radio. That's crazy. But I created this infographic while we were waiting, talking about the Canucks draft picks for rounds 2 and 3. We drafted our goaltender and our center, both much needed positions. And I think that this is good. I mean, the Canucks went off the board for both of these picks, but at least we drafted a goalie and a forward with high upside. We're talking about the goalie. This is an Ian Clark pick. I mentioned it, and then it was later confirmed that Ian Clark went over this and said, "I want this guy," and that guy seems to find gems. So, yeah, big guy, athletic, very strong positionally. We're going to see how well he develops, but I think Seelovs is probably gone, which is why we're making these goalie picks of the future. But yeah, we'll see. And Kieran Durbin, he is pretty good, high upside as well. But we need to see if he can do his scoring, his playmaking, and all that stuff at the highest level. That's what we need to see because his first couple games, first 10 games, weren't that great in the OHL, but his other stats in this when he was playing in his younger days were pretty good. So we have to see. Okay, but I'm a little disappointed that the Canucks have not made any trades so far. A little bit disappointed. Alfred, yeah, this is a good pickup. Like I'm a fan of high upside picks. It's just like you just have to think about it, like at the time or what ends up being good. I think this is one of those things that can end up being good. It's just that both of these picks were off the board because there's a lot of good players left on the board, right? Before we picked them. And yes, yeah, let me know if there's any Canuck news that breaks down, but I don't imagine there's going to be any big Canuck news that breaks down. But yeah, but Barner's Toronto Vegas rights, this makes me think like, can we trade Besser's rights? Because we weren't going to sign him for 8 years anyways. So why don't we trade his rights and try to get something, right? Like this is, yeah, a little ridiculous that we can't get anyone or not trading the rights for Suter or Besser for anyone. Like Besser's got like 9 teams after him. I would imagine at least one of the 9 teams would want to speak to Besser, right? Because if Marner's not on the board, then Besser's going to be the only one. He'll be like the best scoring player left, right? One of the best. Well, Ehlers is one of the best. So yeah, I just don't think that players wouldn't or teams wouldn't want to trade for Besser's rights, right? This makes Suter very important as well. So we shall see. Okay? Yeah. Let's talk about this one. I wanted to talk about this graphic that I made here. What can the 15th overall pick actually get you? To be honest, it wasn't that much, right? It's honestly the 15th overall didn't get you that much. It's not worth that much this year. This is precisely the reason why the Canucks kept their draft pick. They was literally 1 foot out the door for the longest time. Canucks were going to get rid of this draft pick, but they couldn't get anyone. And apparently Rossi's value was the lowest for a second line center. And you look around, no one's drafting or not drafting, no one's trading for second line centers. Rossi has been out there and he's asking for a lot. So if we can't even get an undersized second line winger for a roster player and our first round pick, much rather the Canucks use it for a first round pick, right? And we end up getting our guy, right? I think our 2026 draft, that pick we have is deeper. So if we want to trade that, then that has more value than this year's, right? There's still value. Okay. So this is why I'm talking about this right here, right? Drafting Braden Coots. This is what I like. Like we used our pick to get him. I would much rather have him than to get like a third line center or a third line whatever because this person's upside is higher and he seems to be closer to NHL ready than a lot of the other players. So I really like this guy, right? Especially on a team that doesn't have a lot of scoring. He led the team in points and assists. Wasn't the goals leader, but if you still get over a point per game and your team isn't very good at scoring, that's pretty good. And he was the youngest captain, right? He's 17, youngest captain in the junior leagues here, right? So good for him. He says himself that his player comparable is Braden Point, but you know what? I'm honestly happy if he can even reach both Horvat levels, right? And Jay Beagle at worst, that's still serviceable player, right? So we picked this guy instead of Eklund. I like that. Let's keep going here. Alfred, not trading Besser would definitely make the Canucks look bad. This is exactly it, man. Like I am just so upset. Yeah, that we didn't trade him when we had the chance. We weren't gonna make playoffs anyways, and we didn't trade him. And then now, if we don't trade his rights, that's gonna be crazy. But I want to see honestly what Marner's rights would be. Actually, not sure. Let's see here. The right now the draft isn't it at 122? Alex Huang. We're at 143 still, man. Like that's still a bit of a ways to go. Yeah, but this guy, power play, smart power play bumper. That's Horvat vibes. PK specialist. We can always use more of those. And right-handed shot. That's the key here, right? And if you can do well in the faceoffs, I think that would be a really solid pick. I really like this guy. Really good guy. I'll load this guy up right here for a little bit here. can't wait to see Coots play with the big boys soon. I can't wait. I hope he's like 2 years away, but I hope we don't rush this guy. But he could be pretty good, man. I would be pretty excited to see Coots play. Um, him on a second line, pretty good. And if PD actually stays, regains form, I think this would be pretty decent. And then maybe like Atu Ratu on your third line. That's not bad, right? We just always needed a right-handed center, so this is perfect. Um, Look at this Garland over here. I don't know what you guys think. I think I mentioned it earlier a little bit, but they jumping the gun early on this one. He was trade bait since day one from when the current regime came here, and they wanted to get rid of Garland, and Garland didn't want to be here, and now they're here after 2 seasons of 50 points now, or 50 points on pace for. Now they're trying to re-sign him for 6x6 on July 1st. 6x6. That is a lot of money. I know the cap's going up, but he's an elite third liner. He's a good second liner, I would say. He can fill in a second line, but he's more of an elite third line. Let him carry the third line, but $6 million for a third line is quite a bit, right? So we shall see, right? It's quite a bit. Yeah, and let's go over to here. Let me go back here. I like the money. I would have signed him for 4 to 5 years max. 6 is cutting it a bit too long. Yeah, like you might wear and tear playing that style, and he's not the biggest guy, so he might be worn down, right? This guy has heart, right, and everything, but he's gonna be worn down for sure, right? Um, I hope that they can get him some help too, right? We're still 3 forwards away, people. We're still 3 forwards away. Yeah. Let me go to a post that I made a while back. Yeah, it's this graphic here. Um, in this one, we already said that the Canucks are losing Besser and Suter, and we still needed and we didn't even replace JT Miller, right? So we need 4 players technically. We're missing one elite player that replaces JT, and then we're looking for a Brock Besser replacement, which is Evander Kane. And then we have Suter, and we still need 2 more players. So we need to replace Suter, and we need 2 more players, 2 more top 6 players. So we're missing one elite player and 2 good top 6 scoring wingers. That's what we're missing to be competitive. Okay, we need 3 more pieces, and I'm being realistic when I tell you this. We need 3 more pieces. I'm not too happy right now with what we have here. And please, 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 we got to keep Quinn Hughes. Right? We got to keep Quinn Hughes. We can't let this guy go. Okay? We can't. Let me go back to the draft tracker. So we've gotten to 128. So we have another 15 picks to go, I believe. It's quite a bit. And yeah, I'm using the athletics site here to just look at the prospects. This live draft right now. Cameron Schmidt is definitely off the board, but that's the guy that I wanted for a while. Yeah. So this is where we're at with our list. Is there anyone that you want in here? Please let me know. In the meantime, I like Kane as a player. Yeah, he might have some baggage off the ice, takes careless penalties, but he's got size, grit, goal scoring abilities, can skate, plays physical, something the Canucks lack. Yeah, Alfred, I don't know if you were here earlier, but everything you're saying right now is exactly everything that I said. Like, I didn't like the trade initially, but when you think about it, he does fill a role, right? And instead of needing four more players, now we need three more. And fourth rounder to get someone that gets 25 goals plus with everything you just said, you take that any day of the week. And if you think about it, we literally traded Podkolzin for Kane, right? That's literally what we're going for, or what we did. I just don't like how we. Yeah, me too. Like, why did we help the Edmonton Oilers clear up their cap space? Yeah, we should have got them to retain salary or something. I mean, it may have cost us a bit more, but there should always be a price if you trade with division rivals, especially if you're helping them out with their cap space. I think there should be a price because getting Vander Kane for 5.1 million, even though he's on his last year, this year's cap is still very important. And we have what, like $7 million of cap space, 6 million if Ratu's on the roster. So it's not really doing anything. So when the Canucks say they're talking to Suter and Besser, that's like almost all their money gone there if they were to resign one of them. Right? That's quite a bit. Hey, how's it going? No, I did not go to the Calder celebration. Right? But I hate to say it, but haha, I got to show you something right now, and I think you'll not be happy about this. I'm going to show you something. You're not going to be happy. We may be losing this champ right here. We may be losing that Calder MVP, the AHL champion Seelovs. We may be losing him because Demko is close to an extension. Maybe not as close as Garland, but he's close. And I didn't go to the Calder Cup celebration, but this summer or these next few days could be the last days that we see Sea Loves in the Canucks organization. They truly believe that Demko is a top three goalie in the league when healthy, and they want to have the number one goaltending tandem in the league. That's what they're going for. We shall see. I'm not a fan of this. I'm a fan of trade Demko. That's what I'm a fan of. I want to trade Demko. We could get way more for Demko, but yeah, I also wanted to trade Garland, to be honest, because cap allocation is very, very key. And I think you could have fixed two of your problems. Out of the three remaining players, if you traded Demko and Garland, I think you would have been able to get at least two top six forwards from that list. And then you would have to do something to get that last elite player to replace JT Miller, and then that's it. But, it's what happens. Share this tab. Yeah. Kind of tough, guys. Yeah. No, not Artie's pretty much gone. Trading Demko would at least acquire more cap space. That's exactly what I mean. You can get cap space and you could probably get a first or something, and you can use that first to get more. You could definitely do more. That's great. Enjoy your vacation. Oh, yeah. Artie. Yeah, we drafted our guy, and there's no room, right? Starting to be like this. Why trade a Calder champion in Sea Loves? Come on, Elfrin, right? Why? And I heard from Thomas Drance that his value is only like a. They don't think that they can even get him for a third round pick. Can't even get Silas for a third round pick when he destroyed, like, in the playoffs. Like, he had 5 shutouts and he played over what, like 20, did he play like 26 games or something? He played like all of them, and he was playing to such high caliber level. That is like insane. What pick number are we on, by the way? Let's see here. 138. Are we almost there, guys? We're almost at our pick. Oh, we're almost there. 143 is our pick. We are almost there. We're almost there. These are the top guys left on the list. Okay. Is there anyone that you want from this list, people? Are you at 141? Perfect. Just tell me in the chat because I'm listening to it on the radio, and I think the radio's behind and the athletics stream is a little behind too. Trading Demko but get the best value out of the two goalies we have to choose. We just signed Lankney a 5-year deal. Imagine trading a player you just signed. Yeah, like, that is insane, right? Right, Alfred? Like, that's like no one. I'm gonna create an infographic very soon. I have it prepared. I'm gonna show you later. But yeah, the Canucks. Oh yeah, they're on the clock now, I think. But yeah, let's try to draft a Canadian player. But yeah, Lankinen, you resign him, and he might even be like, if you trade him, that's such a terrible move. Like, free agents already don't want to come here, and then the other day it was announced that the reason why Canucks are going after players like Evander Kane, which we just got, Matthew Barzell, and Bowen Byram, is because Canucks are on a lot of teams' no trade clause or no trade protection or whatever we call it. Yeah, on the, like, they're blocking us from trades. Okay, I'm at 141, couple picks away. Let's draft another Canadian player. I kind of like where the Canucks are going with this. Yeah, the celebration might be the last time you see Sealow's Canuck colors. Very sad, unless Demko talks break down and they trade Demko, which I really want. 143. We drafted Wilson Arbor. Is he on this list? Let's see. No, is he another off the board pick? Yeah, I think he's another off the board pick. I don't see Wilson on here. Who the heck is this guy? I'm going to check my tweets. Give me a sec. I'm going to create an infographic on this too. Canucks draft. Swedish center. Okay. So, guys, I am going to do a full analysis on this guy. I will admit that I do not know who this guy is, but that's okay. I will look him up and I want to see. Here we go. So let's look here. Wilson Jork. Okay, so he is an overager, I believe. He's second year eligible, which it says on here. He's a left wing or a center. 60th ranking for European skaters. An overage forward prospect could see himself drafted after a productive 2024-2025 season with a solid all-around game and strong motor. A team may take a late flyer on the 19-year-old. He's capable of playing on both the wing and center. Across 43 games in the Swedish league, he recorded the junior 20s recorded 28 goals and 39 assists for 67 points. That was the second highest total in the league, only surpassed by his 17-year-old brother and teammate Vigo, who's a top prospect for the 2026 draft. The elder brother nearly tripling his draft year point per game. Okay. He had a 10-game stint with the professional team, didn't record a single point. Bright side here is that his production is fairly similar to Pierre Envol and Elmer Soderblom at this age. Okay. Um, let's keep reading here. He is not super skilled, but he's fairly well-rounded. Offensively, he has a knack for getting in the right areas for his teammates to pass to. Doesn't shy away from the net front and can score from medium range even without a necessarily high-end shot. That sounds kind of like a PS Suter. Not high-end shot, but just knows where to be. Has good vision, most noticeable in the offensive neutral zones. Makes smart plays, decent skater with good speed. Okay. His arguably biggest standout is his motor. Wait, didn't we draft Coots for his motor as well? Of course, he can build on his strength as he can get overpowered from his league average frame, but his effort's there. Canucks are drafting players with effort, heart, motor, speed, right? Things like that. Maybe not so much for size for this, but I'm pretty sure this kid can grow. Says he's likely a late round pick. Okay. He's an exciting forward prospect showcasing a blend of speed, skill, and hockey IQ. With further development in physicality and consistency, he has the potential to make an impact at higher levels. He should be monitored as he progresses. Okay. Hardworking left shot center who played fourth line minutes in this game. Let's see here. So strengths. Motor, good vision, gets a good goal scoring areas, heavily involved in all three zones. This has PS Suter written all over it for me. Right? Another guy that we need. Lacks standout offensive traits, minus his motor. Okay. So he doesn't have like not purely gifted in the area, so a lot of his goals will be hardworking. Okay. Needs to be more disciplined from his penalties, has yet to prove himself professionally. Like the aforementioned Peter Envol and Soderblom, who has far bigger frames than Millie, can be a bottom six or depth forward. Okay. Risk 1 out of 5. So not a high risk, but his reward is only 2 out of 5. Offense 3.5 out of 10. Defense 4.5 out of 10. That's not that great. Let's look at the stats. He was good for his 2024-2025 under 20s. Those are good stats. But playing in the international tournaments, 1 goal, 3 assists. Yeah, it's not the greatest. But let's watch this guy play a little bit here. Let's see how this guy plays. These are some highlights. Okay. If you guys see anything that stands out in this play, let me know. Okay, this is a penalty shot. Okay. It's got some hands. Okay. Good. He knows where to go. It looks like it. He literally cut there when there was some space, right? So it's awesome. That's funny. Just standing there. Getting a tip. Yeah, let's see here. Behind the net. Passes it out. Nice pass. Okay. Let's see here. Comes in, takes a okay, that's a nice shot. Comes in, roofs it. That's a pretty nasty shot. This is a pass that he did. It says assist, so we'll see. Let's see what he does here. Nice pass. So he's number 26, I believe. Another assist. We shall see. All right, might be playing in different leagues, so his number might change. He bounced around a little bit here. It's good to know, though. Yeah, I just look for the guy that passes, so he's probably going to make the pass to the empty net here. Yeah. Another assist. I think his goals are done. Okay. It should be him. Nice pass, nice shot. Okay. It's all right. It's not anything that's, knocking the doors down or anything, but again, off the board pick, but if the scouts like him, it's okay because Canucks want to take a chance on some overagers too, right? Like Romani was one of them. Yeah. Let's see a little bit more. Thank you everyone for being here. I can see there's 10 of you here. Thank you for being here. We're trying to break down as many things as we can here. All right, let's stop that. Okay, let's get to some of your comments now before I open up some stuff. Okay, at least I took a photo with the hockey guy during the celebration. Oh, that's awesome. Hockey guy was there too. Sounds like a versatile player. Yeah, you know what? I noticed that even Rick Tocchet, when he was here, he was talking about how good Suter was, and this guy kind of reminds me of Suter, right? And you can never have enough of these dual players where they can play center and wing. We need these guys, right? And they're fast, and then they can move around. I mean, this guy's not that big, but at least you have players that are move around, have a strong motor, annoying to play against. These are the type of players that you want. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, right. Like this reminds me so much of Suter. I would be ecstatic if in the 5th round you draft a PS Suter. That would be awesome, honestly. Okay, nothing wrong with drafting redundant players. No, nothing wrong. It's just every time it's always about did you draft right at the time, and if they say you didn't draft right at the time, what did they end up becoming, and that's what's the most important, right? Because it is pretty much a crapshoot from 3rd, 4th round onwards, right? You got to take shots somewhere. Yes. Yep. Exactly, Swervin. What's up, line change? Thank you for being here. Guys, I might not be able to stay the whole time. I wanted to do rounds 5 through 7, but I also have to go out, so I might have a chance to do the 6th round. We'll see. Okay, but I'm gonna try my best. Sometimes plans change, but okay. What's up, Swervin and the line change? Exactly. What a great community we have here. Oh, I'm not Callum. I am actually not sure. I don't know. Maybe someone else on the chat can answer that. Thoughts on the pick so far? Okay, so picks as a whole. Um, I like our first pick. Our first pick is really good. Our 2nd and 3rd round picks, I like them as well. Again, they were more off the board types of picks, but I like what they're doing because they're going for upside, right? And you look at our system, and I don't want anyone to think I'm shitting on the system or the farm or whatever, right? But Abbotsford just won. right? They just won the Calder Cup. That's nothing to look down on. But if you think about it, all their scores, they all did it by committee. No one was really like a standout player destroying or doing any of that stuff. It's all by committee. And in our farm, aside from Lekker and Willander, like but before this draft, right? Aside from these two players, we had a lot of players that were, third pairing defensemen and bottom six forwards coming up. But we want top six forwards and top four defensemen coming up. That's what we want. And that's why I like these picks, because they have a chance to be those guys. You want players in the farm that can develop into top four defensemen and top six forwards. So when you ask me if I like these picks, yes. I like them because they have the upside for it. And the floor seems to be pretty safe. This last pick is a little bit risky, but it is the fifth round, right? Like Kudratsov was a seventh round pick, and he's panned out, and he's doing really well. He's already played NHL games, right? DPD third round, but hey, like he's already playing games, so that tells me that the development is not bad for Abbotsford, and Manny's doing a great job down there, right? So I'm pretty happy about this. Again, I want to do a goofy trade. Demko for Skinner. Oh my gosh, that is indeed goofy. The Oilers get an actual goalie, and Abby get a goalie to win back-to-back championships. Oh my gosh, this guy's such a troll. Let's keep going here. Yeah. Let's keep going. Tyler's here as well. Who's on mute? Am I on mute? Every pick is risky. Nothing is super safe. Exactly. Prayer we keep KK. He's solid. Let's hope so too. Thank you, Swervin. Appreciate it. Let's share the screen again. Let's see where we're at. So on this stream, it says pick 153. Where exactly are we? Because this is a little slow. I'm relying on you guys. I'm trying not to look at my phone that much. So it's one. Is it one right now? It says here it's picked 153. Where are we right now? Is it around the same? Because we're picking at 175. So 22 more picks. We're at 157 right now. Okay, that's awesome. So we're still 18 picks away. I'm hoping I can make this. What's your hope level for this next season? Being honest, it's not that high. At this very moment, it's not that high. Especially for the fact that I honestly felt that the Canucks were going to use Garland and Demko as trade chips, because I just don't see how else you can allocate the cap and free up cap space. That's really tough to do. If you trade PD, you better get a center or somebody else good back. Otherwise, like it's not even worth it to trade him right now. So it's really tough. We need a lot more players, right? like here, Swervin, like you said, we still need 3 more solid forwards on top of having Evander Kane. That's exactly what I said earlier. We have Evander Kane. That's the Brock Besser replacement. We don't have a Suter replacement. We do not have a JT Miller replacement. And we still need 1 more top 6 forward in addition to this, right? So that's 3 forwards, right? We have our Brock Besser replacement and Evander Kane at the moment, right? It might not be long-term, but it's a stopgap. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. My hope level is hoping to make the playoffs. Yeah, like, of course we want to make the playoffs, but if we don't make it, I'd rather us be in contention for a lottery pick. I know that might not make Quinn Hughes very happy, but we still need more players coming up. We just don't have enough of the top four and top six, as I mentioned earlier. That's the tough part, guys. Oh, by the way, keep me updated on the Marner one. I really want to know the rights and all that stuff. Yeah. Needing three more forwards and being asset poor is shitty spot to be in. That's exactly it. When you don't rebuild properly or you don't retool properly, you got to pick one or the other, right? If you're going to retool, you have to tell yourself you're sucking for 2 years, right? I would say New York Rangers did a better retool than us when they announced it, that after making Stanley Cup Finals and then whatever, and then not being good for a few years, and they're like, you know what, we got to rebuild. They did it for 2 to 3 years, stocking up draft picks, and then they're back in the playoffs. That's what I wanted the Canucks to do, and we're not doing that, and that's kind of sad, right? And then now we have to get three more forwards, and we're going to be in this spot here, where we don't even have high trade chips. When we had our first round pick, and we wanted Rossi, everybody can outbid us for Rossi. They had way more things to give up, right? So who are we trading to clear up some cap space to acquire? Well, like I said, if it's not Garland and it's not Demko, you tell me who else can we trade to get stuff, right? The Brusque is here to stay, right? Besser's money's gone. Suter's money's gone right now. Myers got to stay on the team, but he's only $3 million. PD is the one where if you trade him, you can get two pieces back. That could be a guy, but it doesn't make sense unless we get a second line center and a top six forward. But I don't even think PD's worth that right now without salary retention, right? Like this is why I'm saying I'm not happy that they're wanting to re-sign Demko and Garland. Those two and the first round draft pick were our biggest assets. They were. I'm not happy about that. Okay, because yeah, there's not much else you can reallocate, right? Like Sherwood is gonna get a bump if he stays, right? Joshua might be the guy right now. That's what I think, because he's what, 3 million. Bluger doesn't make that much, but yeah, Joshua Bluger, but are they really that desirable? Kevin, I think Garland will be a sign and trade, and we don't need a Suter replacement. We have Ratu and Sasson. You know what? When I say a Suter replacement, I'm not talking about like being good in all three zones and all that stuff. I'm talking about having legit 20 plus goal upside. Right? Like maybe you don't have to be fast, but you have to be smart, and that's what Suter is. He's good in all three zones, not elite at anything. So I hope Ratu and Sasson can become that player. I think Ratu has a better chance, but we shall see. I do like your point about Garland being a sign and trade. I hope that would be the case. Really do. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just listening to Sportsnet 650, and they even just said, what assets do we have to trade right now? Right? Like, there's not much. Legit 2C, legit 4C, power play bumper, and PK. Yes. My hope is already drained if Loves could leave. Those are the jobs we need to cover. Yeah, we need to cover that, but they're not. I heard Evander Kane could play bumper, so we shall see. I'm not sure. You guys can tell me your thoughts. Okay, good. We're at 160 right now. We're 15 picks away at 1242. I think Ratu could be a 2C. Exactly. Ratu can be a 2C. He can, but we need him to be. Nick Roy is likely headed to Toronto if Maple Leafs and Golden Knights complete a sign-in trade involving Mitch Marner per Friedman. Wow. Dang. Yeah, let's see where it goes. Looks like next season we are just going to lock down our back end and pray we get just enough offense to win stalemates. It wouldn't be surprising if our fourth line is all cheap young Abby guys. Very possible, Callum, for sure. We shall see. Ratu needs a big summer training wise to be a full time NHLer. Yeah, I don't know if any of you have updates for me, but Ratu was hurt and didn't play in the Calder finals. So hopefully he has enough time to train and rest up and do all that. We need Cap to get Besser, give up Garland to sign Besser back, fill the bottom with Abby players. Carlson could be a PP1 bumper and play on the third line. Carlson is a power play specialist. I just don't think his foot speed is allowing him to be a top six forward, but he's money in front of the net. So if you get in front of the net, he's money. He already showed it in his stint with the Canucks, in his few stints. I liked how he played with Petey, but I like how he played in Abbotsford even more. Sealaws is 23, Demko is 30. Of these two, who would you trade? Who should you trade? Oh, easy for me. Demko, for sure. We have to trade him. He's too old. I understand that at 30, he still could have 5 more good years, but that's if a player is like super healthy. He's not proven to be super healthy, right? And I think that you need to trade Demko and you keep Sealoves because Sealoves at least has 1A potential. Sealoves has a 1A potential, but the other guys don't. Like Lankinen does not have 1A potential. He's a 1B, and 1B is pretty good, right? But we need someone with 1A potential. Sealoves is that. Demko, best case scenario, if he's not hurt, like I said, he could have up to 5 years, but that's not even close to a guarantee, right? So that's why I'm fine with Sealoves. I'm not saying Sealoves is our goalie for the next decade, but he'd be good for now based off of our cap and situation. Maybe RJ persuades Malkin to sign in Vancouver for next 2 seasons. It's insane but possible. Is Malkin's not a free agent right now, right? I go for Malkin if Pittsburgh retains. Okay, it's good. What pick number are we on, guys? Yeah, and by the way, I would lose it if Filipino's our second line center. I'm sorry. Like I think he's better on the wing. We can't have him as a second line center. I mean, he's gonna get killed. Man, like he's gotten too many concussions. So we need to get our second line center. Right? We're in tough right now. Okay, 160. It's up to here, but it's gonna be more. Let's see here. Yeah, this thing doesn't update as quick. Demko is not too old. It depends on contract. Also give Demko 6 months trial, then you trade Lanks and bring up Sealoves. Kevin, I'm gonna answer this right now. You mentioned some good points here. I'm gonna tell you this. Demko is not too old. 30 to 35, you just don't know what you're going to get from a goaltender. If the goaltender is elite, he can play up to 35, right? Like Ryan Miller, and then you start to, do backup at the end of your career, right? That's just a window. What I'm saying is because he's worn down already, his age might be higher up. You just accelerate the age a little bit more. So that's what I'm saying. Also give Demko 6 months trial, then you trade Lankinen and bring up Sealoves. Here's the thing. No free agents want to come here already, okay? Because of the how management has handled things. Okay? Now we're gonna sign Lankinen to this big extension and trade him before he even plays one game. That's already gonna drive everybody out of town. Okay, like for me, if I'm just playing NHL 25, 26, doesn't matter. I would do that. I would do exactly what you just said, Kevin. I'd trade him. I would trade Lankinen and keep Demko and have Seelovs. I would do that. I would, but the optics aren't good, and we're on a lot of teams no trade clauses, so um, we're not desirable place to play, which is why we're going after homegrown talent. Not Malcolm. Malkin is not being re-signed by Pittsburgh. Is it this free agency or next free agency for Malkin? Okay, we're at 166. He's Bobrovsky, but could be available. Not trade lengths now, but in 6 months, he's just happy Canucks fix his career. The thing is, Seeloss requires waivers, so we can't risk losing Seeloss for nothing, right? That's why like it looks bad to trade Lankinen now, but you can't hold on to Seeloss, otherwise you lose him on waivers for nothing. So that's why we needed either Demko or Seeloss gone. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Malkin is a UFA at the end of this season. Okay, that'd be crazy. Let's be real. Demko was held together with Elmer's glue and popsicle sticks this season. Ah, man, so many injuries. I feel bad for the guy, but this is what it is, right? It is what it is. And I don't want to be mean, but I think he's like the Sammy Salo of goalies right now, right? And I love Sammy Salo, and when healthy, they're good. But Demko just made a glass, man. It sucks. Next free agency for Malkin. He's in his last season next year. Yeah, I hope to get him. Guys, give me a moment here. Can just update me on in the chat what number we're on and things like that. I gotta change quickly because I gotta go out. I'm sorry, but I will go over this pick. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I'll be right back. All right. Let's keep going here. Trader Jim has to make some hockey trades. The UFA cupboard is bare. It is absolutely bare. Like for the fact that Canucks are considering like Nick Bukestad and Mikael Granlund, that's if he gets there. Like that's so tough, right? That's super tough. Um, they said that they wanted to make trades, and so far the only one they've been able to make is Evander Kane. So that tells you the market and what type of players we can get and what's out there, right? And don't forget, like everyone's going after second line centers, and there's not really many trades for that. right? And then other teams have better offers than the Canucks. So that's why it's so tough to get that second line center without overpaying right now. Right? Like I truly believe if the Canucks didn't trade for DP or Marcus Pettersson, they could have saved that first round pick and they could have used it this year and paired it with this year's pick, and we would have had 2 first round picks. If you traded Besser for a first at the deadline, you would have had 3 first round picks by now. And if Suter was worth a second, then we have 3 first rounders and 2 second rounders as ammo to trade, and we would have been able to fix our offseason much better. But you know what happens, right? When you don't retool or rebuild properly and you don't manage things, this is what happens, right? And this is why I don't like this owner, is because this owner always wants to make the playoffs, and it costing us right now, right? We were like 6 points out at the deadline, and the owner still thinks that we have a shot to make the playoffs, so we have to keep Besser and Suter as our own rental, which is BS. Small can have a no trade clause currently. Not sure. Someone would know. Has Swerve and love the Demko comment. Exactly. Yes. I think Demko might have his best years ahead of him still. Remember when Price had bad years? Yeah, you know what? Like I said, I don't think trading Demko has anything to do with believing in the guy or not. I think just look at I think about it, and we just look at our team, our build up, and he's just on that list of players that need to go. Right? He's just on that list, just based off of everything, his injuries, and our current financial situation. Why do we have an Embiid type goalie? Don't think Sealow's quite ready yet, but has huge trade value. Some teams. You know what, Kevin? I want to believe that, but apparently Thomas Strand said that he might not even be able to get a third liner. We're at 172 now. We got low ball for Besser at the deadline. I heard that, but other reports started coming out that first was available. Carolina's first was also available. That's what I heard. But the Canucks were stubborn and they wanted to get something to still try to make the playoffs. Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Yeah. Okay. Guys, we drafted Gabriel Chirot. Anyone know anything about him? Anyone know anything about this guy? I'm going to try to look him up. Gabriel, what's his name? Gabriel, Chia. There we go. All right, let's look here. Share this tab. I know. Yeah, so this is his profile right now. There's not that much. I don't even get a scouting report on this guy. But yeah, guys, hey, thank you for joining the stream. I'm sorry I missed the 7th pick, but I have to go. Appreciate you all being here. We'll try to do this next time. Okay. Have a good day, everyone. I'll do a recap of all the picks with letter grades later. Thank you so much. You're all very awesome. Have a good night or have a good day.